Yo guys, this is Reinhardt and this is gonna be the awesome stream coming out today on Twitch, where I will be drinking vodka with my subscribers and we're gonna go out there and spread shit tons of AIDS. So if you guys want to check out the cool stream and drink some vodka with me, you're gonna have an opportunity tonight, later on tonight, so to say. Anyway, we're gonna be fighting a rank 1 Shadow Priest Celestiah here, and we're gonna spread AIDS like there's no freaking tomorrow. I am putting my Chain of Ice root, for fuck's sakes, on this warrior so he could not charge my luck. The saddest thing about Shadowcliff is that, believe it or not, but Unholy Decay is the tankiest class out there. Like, when they actually tunnel vision me, we usually win 90% of the time. It's very easy, so to say. Anyway, so right now we are basically trying to spread some AIDS. We're gonna try to get some control on the druid and shove up as many necrotics into a throat of the warrior to negate his second wind, because necrotics are much stronger than second wind. I'm gonna be gripping warrior down here to force a few cooldowns so he could line aside the druid here, and this actually worked like a charm because warrior was forced to pop his rallying cry and his die by the sword ability. I really like die by the sword name because, well, first of all, I'm using the sword and this is what the warrior is gonna die from, so it's 100% an accurate ability, so to say. Anyway, right now we're tunneling visioning the shit out of this warrior. I got Cyclone, so I use my Desecrated Ground. The reason why I like Desecrated Ground is because while I'm standing in it, I'm immune to all the CC. So even though the priest is coming in for the fear, it's not gonna do a jack shit to me because I can stationary stand on a Desecrated Ground. If you can chill blade somebody and actually stay on the Desecrated Ground, that's a really good way of preventing any peels whatsoever besides the AMS when you're actually doing a hard switch to a healer or to one of the classes that you can pin down pretty damn easily. So at this point in time, warrior is kind of a croaking from our aids by a lot. And I have a soul rip on the warrior, but he's gonna get tapped off here a little bit, so I'm gonna have to be forced to shove more necrotics into this warrior's throat, so to say. And warrior is dying, and the best thing I like about necrotics and soul ripper is that it's actually one of the best counters to a warrior class, which is a top melee class in the game so far. The next map we're gonna be fighting on Ruins of Lordran, and I absolutely hate that piece of crap map for one particular reason, is because it promotes a lot of mongoloiding tunnel visioning. Like, it doesn't have a really good positioning requirement of Nagrand, I would say Tolvir, or even Dalaran sewers. It's my most hated map. So anyway, I'm gonna put a chill blades right now on the warrior and I'm gonna grip him back so my luck could actually get his gateway. And the gateway is very useful, especially against the melee. It's pretty much a half the battle if you can get it out against a really good cleave team, so to say, or really good melee. So right now their luck is gonna pop up Siphon on me and I'm dipping to 50% HP, so I'm gonna use the demonic gateway to port back so I won't have to take a lot of unnecessary damage, and my shaman can actually top me off without popping any defensive cooldowns on my side or his side at the same time. I have 3 death runes and I started applying necros on the warrior, and he was forced to use his rallying cry and his die by the sword ability. So far we're gonna be spreading so much AIDS that the druid will be under a lot of pressure, so to say. So right now I'm using my Soul Reaper on the warrior. I'm stacking those necros like there's no tomorrow. Soul Reaper is not blossoming, so the answer to that is gonna be more and more necrotics. I have 4 death runes that I can right now pop on the freaking warrior at the same time. So I'm using my activate trinket and I'm stacking those necrotics. This is the most effective way, and I also mind froze up Siphon. And right now their druid is gonna use the overgrown cabbage form and gonna try out heal through our aids rather effectively, I would say. I still popped my gargoyle right before I found out he popped a broccoli form, so right now we're just gonna have to be trading pressure for pressure, defensive cooldown for defensive cooldown. And I'm gonna be gripping warrior back when he popped his Swifty one-shot macro on me, and I pet sacked here at the same time. So right now I'm basically standing here like a prostitute trying to tank both of the teams, because believe it or not, decays are the tankiest for the Shadowcliff. The Shadowcliff is not the most easiest camp to run, to be honest. We somehow got a spell lock on the druid and he still actually got off the full cyclone. I'm right now trying to peel for my luck, trying to chill blade root the freaking warrior and spread them AIDS. So at this point in time, their druid dispels the UA and he's sitting in full AIDS at the moment. Right now we got a full stun on the warrior and I'm gonna be gripping him behind here so we could force more defensive cooldowns out of the warrior. So right now he kinda line-of-sighted the heals because of my grip. So at this point in time, I'm gonna, by the way, pop the Lich, my Will of Forsaken, and shove up necrotics into warrior's anus, especially after he pops the shield wall, because when he pops the shield wall, the best way to negate it is actually the more necros the better, so to say. Right now the druid is dipping kinda low and the warrior is sort of tapped off, chilling there, having a very nice day. So I'm gonna grip the druid and I'm gonna do a quick swap to a druid, and just a simple grip kiting actually forces a lot of stuff and spreads a lot of aids pressure, so to say. So there Shadow Priest was forced to life swap, so at this time we actually swapped to Priest a little bit, swap him back to Warrior, and look at the druid's life. Look at his life. His life is fucking miserable because he has so much, he is so low on so much aids and he doesn't have any mana. I am glad that I'm not him. Warrior is using Die by the Sword because he thought that I'm going on him, but no, I'm actually televisioning the shit out of the druid. Gripped him back with a Soul Reaper up, and right now he's Lana siding with my Necros, and the Soul Reaper blossoms on him for a 98k critical. It was through his defensive cooldowns, that's why it wasn't such a big crit. The highest crit so far I got with the Soul Reaper was 250k HP. I absolutely love this ability. Thank you, Blizzard, for actually giving us the Soul Reaper ability. And I am gonna make a vlog later on today, probably about the DKs, and I'm probably gonna make a post about it tomorrow because I'm kinda running out on time, so to say. The next one is going to be my very favorite map, so to say, because I like this map to death. It benefits melee cliff, it benefits caster cliff, it benefits melee caster, all equally. It's all about the skill and a really good utilization of your positioning. I'm really glad they actually made a Tolvir just like this map, just because it's a very overall balanced overview map. Really like it. And my luck spell like in this warrior like a mongoloid, by the way. I have no idea what the fuck was that with that, but my luck is a good player, so I guess he can allow to make an occasional mistake, which sucks. Anyway, right now the druid dispel all the aids from the warrior and he sits in the silence and stun at the same time. So I'm gonna be swapping to the SPriest out here, and I'm gonna be gripping this rejuvenation here. I tried to focus Mind Freeze the Cyclone and I couldn't get it. So right now they put a Fear and Clone me at the same time. So I decided to eat both of those CCs and not pop anything, because I will get the art and the next CCs are gonna be not that big on me, so to say. The Shadow Priest popped one of the most favorite abilities here. It's called the Psyfiend. I have no idea who came up with the ability of the Psyfiend, the shitty ass shadow freaking demon that sits there and casts fear. Like there's wasn't much of a fear anyway. What I would love to do actually in this game is actually tone down the fear immunities and tone down a lot more fears in this game. I think that would be actually better on the both sides. So anyway, right now we're spreading some aids like we always do. Druid got out of his broccoli form, and we have aids going for Priest and Warrior, and the Druid was in the full fear, so he trinket out of it, so to say. So at this point in time, I'm going to Shadow Priest. At the Shadow Cliff, you need to swap a lot, and you need to swap very often because everything is dipping low, everything is forced to play defensive. I'm putting a Soul Reaper on this Shadow Priest, and he's using Dispersion. So right now, I did a Blood Bowl Pestilence, and I'm swapping to a Druid here, just so he could line aside. While the Druid is line asiding and is afraid and cutting back, guess what happens to Warrior and Shadow Priest? They're also dipping low from aids, and this is the most beautiful part about it. I'm using my Desecrated Ground to get away from the Shockwave and Cyclone, and Warrior is actually dipping very low, so I'm putting a Soul Reaper on it and I've strangulated the Druid, and I gripped him a little bit behind the pillar, so the Druid will have to be forced to come in the open to heal this Warrior out here. And I got disarm for full duration. I absolutely hate the disarm, to be honest. And that the fact that DK are both vulnerable to silence and disarm at the same time. So at this point in time, the Warrior is dipping low, the Druid is dipping very low, and we're gonna actually kill a Warrior here, not a Druid. So right now I'm gonna go put a shit tons of necrotics into this warrior's face. I am gonna target the druid because he displays the beats. I drop my focus, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manually put a Soul Reaper on this guy, manually target the rest of the druid, grip his regrowths. At this time my Soul Reaper blossoms on the warrior and he goes down like a fucking cracker. So that's about it, guys, for another AIDS video. I hope you guys liked it. If you liked it, come on to my stream today. We're gonna drink some vodka, my friends, and have a very good time. Thanks for watching, guys, and до свидания.
How they did this, and then I would try to match in music. I would bring him to this one place. It captivates.